Welcome to Beyond the Flare. I'm Ann Baker, a lifelong survivor of mast cell disease and someone who lives daily with chronic illness. But my story doesn't end there. This podcast is where I share how I manage chronic illness while pursuing a fulfilling and creative life. You'll find practical tips, personal stories, and encouragement to help you navigate your journey. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Beyond the Flare.
Hi everyone. Welcome and welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to say welcome back. I was doing some auditions today and I thought, you know what? This would be a great time to update all of you on the podcast, Beyond the Flare. If I haven't said it, welcome to Beyond the Flare. But Beyond the Flare, just to talk a little bit about a flare I just came out of. 3-week flare, you guys. 3 weeks. And this one affected the GI system. Top to bottom. I'm telling you, it was not fun. So, I'm not the only one in the world with GI problems. I'm not the only one with a mast cell disease. And so I thought maybe there are some tips and tricks that I use to get through it and come out of it that maybe I could help share with you and help somebody else in this situation. So, it all started because when you have a mast cell disease, a lot of things can trigger it, and emotion is one of them. And we had a very heavy emotional week without getting into details because our lives are very private. We had a very emotional week, and it affected everything. It affects everything in your life. But when you have a chronic illness like mast cell disease, fibromyalgia, any of those, it kind of takes it to a whole new level. And I thought I was handling it well. When these things happen, I recognize it first and foremost that this is going to be a stress on my body. And so I switched my activity and I switched my eating to safe foods. So I did that for a week. And what happened was my GI system slowed way down. And I felt better by the end of the week. So I did what every other red-blooded American would do. I went out to eat dinner and I got this chicken dish that you could put lemon all over. Now, I know better than to eat a lot of lemon. I know better. This is my bad. I know better. I don't know what to say. They gave me half of a grilled lemon to squeeze all over my chicken dish, and I was just like hungry because I'd eaten only safe foods all week. Squeezing this lemon and it smelled so good, and I ate half of it, and I don't usually eat that much because when my stomach feels kind of weird and my GI system's acting up, little pieces at a time are really all I can handle. But I wasn't thinking. I was so hungry and it smelled so good, and I was sitting there in a restaurant with my husband and we were having a good time, and I ate like half of it. My husband's like, wow, you're eating a lot. I'm like, I know, but it's so good. Anyway, I paid for it 20 minutes later. Walking home from the restaurant, my stomach really started to hurt, and I had a really painful evening. That was week 1. After that, I started reaching for the ginger tea, the gingins. If you don't know what gingins are, get some. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. They are fantastic. And I hope the gingin people never ever stop making gingins. They don't pay me to say that. It's just one of the best things I've ever found in my entire life that can help my stomach and my GI system completely. You take one, you wait 20 minutes, you chew another one. It's great. Ginger can be spicy. They add a little sweetener to it so that it's not as spicy. But you know what? You deal with that spicy. And having a mast cell disease, I'm really sensitive to spicy. But I will chew these because it makes my stomach feel so much better and my GI better, and that's why I do it. Anyway, that was long-winded. Sorry about that. What I ended up doing was really suffering over the next couple of days because my system, it didn't stop, it wasn't blocked, but it came to a very slow pace, and I mean very slow pace. And I was doing everything I could with the ginger tea and the massages and the heat compress and eating the right things that you need to eat. So what did I eat? Potatoes, things with a little bit of fiber in them. Stayed away from anything I had to heavily digest, so meats. I'm not going to say my nutrition was great the past 3 weeks, because it was absolutely not. But I ate enough so I wasn't starving, and enough so I could keep some nutrition in. And then, you supplement with some of the other shakes and vitamins out there to keep your body at some level of nutrition. But it's not, when you're going through a flare, it's not going to be that way. You do the best you can. So I stayed away from my protein drinks. I backed off all non-essential supplements. I kept the fluids in: ginger tea, green tea, water, electrolytes, tons of electrolytes. And that was really what I did with my food. I stayed away from dairy and anything that had to heavily process in my gut. Now, I would recommend seafood if you need a protein source, but I can't eat seafood. So I didn't have a lot of protein, I'll admit that. I did eat peanut butter. Peanut butter seems to work for me. With all the peanut allergies in the world, I can eat peanut butter. But everybody's body is different, so you have to think about what works for you. Potatoes, sweet potatoes work for me. Blueberries, apples, applesauce, soup, a lot of soup, tons of soup. So that's what I did to get through, to feed my body for these weeks. And just sometimes I'd play around with a Miralax or two a day, just to kind of keep some of the pressure and pain down. I never did reach for the prednisone, although it was in the back of my mind. It was very painful and very uncomfortable, and I had some sleepless nights, but I got through it. Now, why ginger? Well, ginger restricts tissue. It's like nature's best medicine. So it will restrict your tissue. So if something's inflamed or swollen, it'll kind of pull it back and let it heal. And then I mix in some Manuka honey. If you have never tried Manuka honey, you need to try it. It's fantastic. First of all, it tastes great. Secondly, it's a food, not a sugar, not a medicine. I mean, it is sugar, but it's a food. And so it'll have some nutritional value, but Manuka honey has some healing properties to it. And so I will eat Manuka honey when I'm in a flare. Not all the time, because it's expensive and but maybe if I ever get monetized, I can afford it all the time. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, right? But Manuka honey is one of the things. So ginger, Manuka honey, soup, potatoes, applesauce, lots of water and electrolytes. And that's what I usually do to calm my system, and lots of rest. So heat, massage, and rest. So it was 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks of uncomfortableness, pain, and kind of waffling back and forth, but I made it through. And yesterday I woke up and I had all this energy and no stomach pain, and it was great. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I do to get through my flares, because this is called Beyond the Flare. And I don't know, I'm a human just like you. I have weird days and days that I don't plan on having a flare. I do, and when I have other things to do and other bookings, I still have to get through them. I don't cancel them because I'm in a flare. I get through it. So those are the things I do to get through it. And then at night when I'm alone, then I crash and curl up in a ball and get near tears. But I don't do that in front of people because, what's the point? Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. If anybody has any questions, shoot me a message. I'm always happy to help and answer for you whatever question you may have, or point you in a direction. Remember, everybody's body is different. You'll respond differently to all these different things, but I have some really good tricks, like massaging the stomach and putting heat on it, laying on your side, rest. Hydration is key. Ginger, 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 ginger. And if your gin people are hearing me, keep making your gin. Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I hope everyone's having a good day. I know it's been a while since I've checked in. I've just been busy. I've got a lot of things going on with the acting and modeling world, and hopefully something really cool is going to come out soon. And in the meantime, I'm managing a disease. I am beyond the flare at this point, and I'm here to help you get beyond the flare too. All right, that's it for now. Everybody, you have a good day, okay? Bye.